Okay, so we're going to deal with the topic of Andrew and Rachel Wilson. Now, we'll say in relation there's better qualified individuals with PhDs who've done research exposing the ideology of feminism or satanic feminism. Parfexneld, I believe that's his name. Janice Fiamengo and Dr. Carrie Gress, Dr. Janice Fiamengo and Dr. Carrie Gress, and there's others, but that'll suffice. However, Rachel Wilson's work has correlated with the findings of Dr. Carrie Gress, The Occult Origins of Feminism, and also Dr. Janice Fiamengo's findings on the occult origins of feminism. So there are elements of what Rachel Wilson and Andrew Wilson say that agrees with traditional religious beliefs that they're commended for, and anyone who's truly religious, traditionally religious, supports, meaning traditional religion, meaning Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. So that which they have that's in agreement with the truth of those three religions, they're to be commended and not condemned for. And this is by no means in support of the satanic ideology of feminism that this feminist embodies. So I will attempt to have an objective analysis of this debate and deal with the logical contradictions of Andrew Wilson, particularly because there were some severe flaws and futile defenses made here by this enabler of child abduction and parental alienation, and also resulting in the death of one of Rachel Wilson's children in the care of Rachel Wilson. And Andrew Wilson unjustly wants to be perceived as some kind of hero, having come in and taken care of two other men's children. This is the claim. Knowing, meanwhile, that online there is an exposure, a detailed, very thorough exposure with documented evidence on the fraud and denial of what Andrew Wilson is covering up, as well as his wife, Rachel Wilson. So to proceed.
You on my worldview?
Yes.
Your wife has 3 baby daddies and has been married twice before.
And you
Rachel Wilson has been married once before. And if we just look at the timeline from this, the person who researched and made these findings, T Matrix, University Professor, 0. Okay. So, Rachel Wilson's timeline, baby daddy number 1, Chad H. Moves in with Chad, gets pregnant, gives birth to first daughter. Nothing there about marriage. Rachel is 21 years old, gives birth to a second daughter, both out of wedlock. Chad leaves Rachel because she was cheating on him with the second baby daddy who she did marry. So she was a fornicator with the first baby daddy, Chad H. And then she married baby daddy number 2, Brian J. So these are the facts. So it's actually one baby daddy that she was married to, and the first one that she fornicated with, and then fornicated with Brian J. And yeah, let's continue. And it's not Brian from the show whatever.
Sniz.
Under your religion.
You lick sniz.
What is that?
You're a fucking dyke. Don't talk shit about my wife, you stupid bitch. Shut your fucking mouth. Shut your stupid bitch mouth.
Your wife with the 3 baby
What did I
daddies?
just say?
Your
Dyke?
wife with the 3
Sorry,
baby
I'm sorry,
daddies?
Dyke. Is she morally inconsequential in comparison to your ditch licking?
Do the men that you try to
Do the women that
like
you try
show
to?
your hatred
Do
against?
you the
do
women
they,
that
like,
you try
convince them
to?
that they shouldn't,
You know,
like,
Charlie, did I
pursue
bring
women? Do they know
Charlie?
that your
Did I bring
wife
your
is 5
family?
years older?
Did I bring any of your
You call
family
me
into
fucking
anything?
stupid.
Did I
You
say
call
anything
me
about
fucking
your
stupid.
family being stupid, Charlie? It's
You could
because
go
I'm
for it.
better than you, Charlie.
No, it's because you're
Well, yeah, it's accurate. You didn't bring her family into it, but you're definitely not better in regards to the things that you enabled and supported Rachel Wilson in doing when it came to her 2 previous baby daddies. You're not better in that regard. You are absolutely not Andrew Wilson, and you are gonna get decimated and exposed for this.
embarrassed, and you know that the traditional values that you try to sell people on are bullshit because
let's
you
go
are not
through
a
it.
traditional man.
Chuck, let's go through it.
You are not a traditional
Let's
man.
go through it, Chuck.
She's right. There's aspects of what Andrew Wilson has done that are not from what a traditional man does. That's correct.
Tell me what I'm doing which is immoral.
She's meant to tell you what you're doing that's immoral. Okay. So, you claim that you, as we'll see in the video now, that you're taking care of children of men who abandoned their children, left their children. This is your claim. And it's not the case. You have enabled Rachel Wilson, who no doubt is a covert feminist and was more of a feminist when she was with baby daddy number 1, Chad H. And she was a secularist. So she fornicated and had 2 children out of wedlock that you claim that you want a hero's flag for and commendation for taking care of children who were abandoned allegedly by their father. This is what you're claiming. You want respect and honor, and you want the title of being a traditional man for doing this, when it's not the case. So that, number 1, makes you immoral already.
What you're doing, which is immoral.
Yeah.
I think that you have been complicit in convincing young men that
No. My family dynamic. What am I doing? Being married to my wife.
It's immoral.
Then why? So then
Under my
so
review,
all you did.
that's perfectly acceptable.
Chuck, all you're doing is saying. So Chuck, shouldn't you actually be saying that Andrew? You're doing a good thing. Hang on, Charlie. I just want to make sure I got this right. Am I doing a?
You're not doing a good thing. You're doing exactly what many simps who marry single mothers do. They come into a situation, they don't ask the single mother anything about history. And I know you've said this, Andrew Wilson, in podcasts where you've said, do not believe any woman who makes allegations of domestic abuse without any evidence and police records. Yes. So where are the records? Where are the records? We'll get to this. But you came into a situation and you enabled and supported Rachel Wilson making false allegations against her first baby daddy, her second baby daddy, and parentally alienating them from their children. That's immoral. That makes you an evil man. That is anti-Christian, anti-God, Andrew Wilson. And you want a medal for that.
A good thing? Am I doing a good thing?
Do you think you're
absolutely not doing a good thing because you didn't bother to investigate the full facts? Did you speak to the baby daddies? Or did you just take Rachel's story again? Did you speak to the baby daddies? Or did you just believe blindly, as many simp cuckolds like yourselves do when they enter into a situation with a single baby mother? They never actually ascertain the facts or speak to the baby daddy to find out what actually truly happened. They never get the truth from women like Rachel Wilson about what actually truly happened prior to you marrying her, Andrew Wilson. You did not ever ascertain the facts before you married her and stepping into a situation that involved children that weren't yours, that you want a hero's medal for now. You compounded and made the problem significantly worse, as we shall prove and demonstrate in the evidence.
Your wife is a charity case?
By taking care of children who weren't mine, was I doing a good thing? Whose fathers abandoned them? By taking care of children who weren't mine, was I doing a good thing? Whose fathers abandoned them? By taking care of children who weren't mine, was I doing a good thing? Whose fathers abandoned them?
So Andrew Wilson here claims, remember this in your memory bank, whose fathers abandoned them. Now, where did he get that from? Did he get that from looking into Rachel's case objectively? Or did he just blindly take Rachel's side? Oh, they abandoned them. Oh, I'm willing to be stepdaddy then. No problem, yeah. I don't care about what happened. Oh, that's horrible they abandoned them. Yeah, I don't need to verify anything, check court records. I said, no, I don't need to look into anything about your past. I just trust you because I want sexual relations with you. So therefore, it's okay. It doesn't matter who's right, who's wrong. There's nothing in the Bible that I have to ascertain the truth of what really happened here before I endeavor to marry this woman, so that I don't unjustly harm the children and the children's father by taking the side of the perpetrator of child abduction and parental alienation, which Rachel Wilson claims to be against, but yet she perpetrated this situation.
Was I doing a good thing?
Yeah, you're doing a good thing.
Oh, okay. Well then, Chuck, why did you use that as a form of personal attack on me? Even though you think...
Well, she doesn't have the evidence to hand that we have, Andrew. So therefore, it's a deserved criticism of you. So in 1997, baby daddy number one, Chad H, started dating. Where's that from the ecclesiastical religious authority? Where's that from traditional Christianity to date? You're meant to court with the father's permission. Did Rachel Wilson court Chad H? Or did she date as many Christians who are actually secularists, covert secularists pretending to be Christians? This dating concept is not a biblical concept, and it has never been. Courting is not dating. So Rachel Wilson here was a fornicator, and there's punishment in the Bible for fornication. She gets pregnant at 20 years old. She gives birth at 21 years old. She gives birth to the second daughter at 23 years old. Then she cheats. She fornicates with a guy called Brian J. in 2003. That's great. That's what you're coming into, Andrew, being a hero. And then Rachel gets married to Brian in 2004, gives birth to a son called JJ, who is the third child. Then Rachel was 25 then. Brian and Rachel separate. Rachel files for child support. On September the 9th, the judge, so she wants child support payments. This is all hidden by Andrew Wilson. He wants praise and commendation here, but he's hiding this history.
I'm a good person doing a good thing.
I'm convincing you.
He's a good person doing a good thing, coming into a situation and not asking about the real circumstances. Why Rachel Wilson has 3 children from 2 baby daddies and what the real facts are on the ground. So he doesn't do injustice to the children's fathers and the children. But he's doing a good thing apparently.
Of my worldview.
You're very convincing, Chuck.
Under my worldview,
I'm a good person.
You can marry your wife and no one would judge you. And you can raise the children that aren't yours and no one would judge you.
No, they would still judge me, Chuck.
Under your worldview, So Christian nationalists,
Yeah, what about
isn't
it?
even acceptable.
Do you understand what Christianity is? Do you think
Yes,
that?
I was
Do you?
right.
Christianity is not what Rachel did with baby daddy number one, Andrew. Christianity is not what Rachel did when it came to baby daddy number one. There's nothing ecclesiastical about this. Where was her father? She's Christian, right? I don't know the history about her family and how she was raised, but where's baby daddy in this? Where's the Christianity in this? Andrew Wilson claims to be a Christian. A Christian. Right. That should be determined. But Andrew, what's the punishment in the Bible for a woman who fornicates and has children out of wedlock? What's the punishment in the Bible for that? And we shall investigate that another time.
Raised Christian, were you?
Yeah, I was.
Protestant.
Yes, I was.
Of course. See, this is.
You don't. I'm sorry.
Because the Protestant spirit is still in you.
Oh, it is.
It hasn't left, man.
Is the Catholic spirit still in you?
I wasn't raised Catholic.
Then what are you talking about?
I was raised Protestant.
Okay, you were raised Protestant?
Yeah.
So why would you fucking criticize me for that?
It's the thing that Protestants do when they convert to like Orthodox or Catholic is they get really into the idea of like.
Hey Chuck, can I ask you?
They get really into the idea of rules and
Chuck,
shit.
have you ever had an abortion?
No.
Never? Would you?
Yeah.
So you'd kill your own kids? Why am I going to take moral advice from you?
You don't have to.
I'm not going to.
Why would I take moral advice from you?
So you're trying.
I think that you lie about your worldview.
Okay, which part?
It's a fair argument Andrew makes there, but in reality, we're talking about something in relation to your Christian beliefs, Christianity, following Christianity, being seen as an example of Christian morality. This is the issue here.
Which part am I lying about?
I think that you pretend to be a traditional Christian man, but what I see
never said once that I'm a traditionalist.
What I see you doing is someone who claims.
So he's never said he's a traditionalist. So he's not a traditional Christian. So what is Christianity then if it's not traditional? Andrew, what is Christianity if it's not traditional? What's Christianity if it's not traditional? And I'm sure Andrew's probably got some definitional difference between traditionalism and Christianity, and they don't necessarily agree with each other, but Christianity is seen as traditional. That's a fact. So Andrews then has made this dichotomy. He's not traditional, but he's Christian. Interesting.
To be a Christian is spreading hate.
Okay.
I think that you.
All right, Chuck, fine. See, you got me. You got me. I'm a stepfather, Chuck. What did I do wrong? What did I even do wrong from my Christian worldview, Chuck, by being a stepfather and a good father to kids who needed one, Chuck? Can you tell me?
Well, no, they didn't need one. They needed their fathers, Andrew. They didn't need you. They didn't need Rachel Wilson to go to the Freemasonic courts, to the secular courts, not Christian courts, and get temporary restraining orders, parentally alienate. They didn't need that. The two baby daddies did not need Rachel Wilson going to the secular courts and then for you to step in and claiming you're being a hero. Would you like to have been put through the process, Andrew, that Rachel Wilson, your wife, put Chad H. and Brian J. through, and 3 children? Would you like to be put through that process yourself as a Christian who claims to understand Christianity? What here in this history is from Christianity that Rachel has done that you obviously support and have enabled Rachel to do? Let's zoom down a little bit. In the case of baby daddy number 2. So, the judge orders Brian J. to pay back $2,184 for back child support. Is that from Christianity? The monthly child support and garnishment is $566 along with $50 a month until the $2,184 is paid off. Is that from Christianity, Andrew? On April the 18th, Brian files for divorce from Rachel, who was served the next day on the 19th. Why did he file for divorce? Did you find out the details of why this happened, Andrew? Did you find out the details, the real details, why he filed for divorce? Okay. And was it overseen by an ecclesiastical authority? Rachel then files for a temporary restraining order against Brian. She was granted it on what was the basis on which she made a temporary restraining order? Was it based on Christianity? Andrew, was it based on Christianity, traditional Christianity? Oh, sorry, you're not a traditionalist, yeah? You're a Christian, yeah? Was it based on Christian values, Christian morality? Rachel in 2009 files for sole custody. Is that from Christian? Why would you file with a secular court, a Freemasonic court, for sole custody of a child? I thought you believed in 50-50 custody. Huh? On October the 19th, Brian appeals the restraining order and it's dismissed. So this is not a father who's abandoned his child, Andrew. You said both of these fathers abandoned their children. On January the 28th, Brian files for sole custody of his son. But Andrew, you said he abandoned his child. On February the 1st, Brian files a CPO against Rachel for his son, which he had in his custody. Hearing was held on the 4th where Brian was denied emergency custody, and on the 7th, on behalf of his son, was denied. And they still haven't divorced. And on the 7th of October, the divorce case was officially closed. So Andrew Wilson's come into this situation and obviously not bothered to do his due diligence, just blindly believed Rachel. Oh, yeah, they both abandoned their children. Don't worry, I'm the hero. I'm the Christian hero here to save you with my cape on. Yeah, well done, Andrew.
That's not what I was referring to.
No, it was what you were referring
Because
to.
being a
You
stepfather
were trying
is
to,
Christ-like.
what
It
you were
is
trying to
Christ-like,
do.
But Christian nationalists are not Christ-like. You are not
Chuck, what am I
Christ-like
saying?
if
What
you're
am
a
I doing?
Christian
What am I
nationalist.
doing except taking care of
What
people?
you're doing is you are espousing to.
What is he doing except taking care of people? Did you take care of the fathers, Andrew? Were the fathers Christian? Did you make sure? Did you ask if Rachel was with Christian men? If her second husband was Christian? If her first boyfriend was a Christian? Did you follow Christian ethical values when it comes to parental rights of those fathers? You superhero? You're such a superhero, right?
To be a good Christian man, but what you do with your life is you don't help others. You sit around smoking cigarettes.
I thought I did. I thought you just
And
commended
what
me
you
for
do-
helping others. Didn't I help children who weren't even mine, Chuck?
That's not what you do with your life.
Yes, it was what I did with my whole young life, my entire youth.
Your job is debating women who aren't formal debaters. And
Andrew, you only enabled Rachel Wilson to cause further harm to her children and to her ex-boyfriend and to her ex-husband by what she did was abduction and parental alienation, something that you as Wilsons claim to be against and advocate, for.
And literally mocking young women in
Chuck,
sex work.
do I only
That's
debate?
what you do.
Do I only debate women, or do I debate the best debaters in the world?
You sometimes do.
Yeah, so shut up.
If they let you.
And what have you?
Tolerate
And what have you
I've
done?
watched them
What have
walk
you
off.
done?
I have a master's.
Yeah, you haven't done shit. You don't have.
It's not about what you've done. The issue here, factually, Andrew, you are essentially you've collaborated with Rachel Wilson, who's used the feminist system that you claim to be against. So you're against this female here who's apparently a feminist. She stated she's a feminist. But yet Rachel Wilson used the feminist gynocentric misandrist system against the fathers of her children. And you enabled that and supported that. You happily supported Rachel in doing that. And you want to be the hero. And you claim that these fathers abandoned their children.
Have a family. You've never taken care of another human being besides yourself. And on top of that, let's just point this out.
Andrew, the fathers wanted to take care of their children. You didn't have a right to take care and take the time, attention and love that was for their children's fathers. This is what these kind of scumbags, these people need a minimum of 10 years in prisons who want to claim to be heroes over the actual fathers of those children. You took the time, the rights, the love, the bonding that was for their fathers that you didn't deserve. You had no right to, as a so-called Christian man, to take that away from these children's fathers. And Rachel enabled you to do that, and you enabled her to do that. And you want a hero's medal for that? You want to be seen as a moral Christian for that?
You have not debated with those people because they think you're too fucking stupid to do so.
Well, yeah, I'm not someone that does debate.
No, it's not because of your debate skills, Chuck. It's because of your IQ skills.
I do it for fun.
Yeah, Andrew, you have, in this regard here, in this particular context, your IQ skills, your denial, your suppression of what you actually know, what actually really happened, your being evasive of the facts, being emotional. Yeah, or what have you done? I'm taking care of children. What's wrong with that? You commended me for what I was doing. I was taking care of children who were abandoned. This self-praise and this patting yourself on the back is clearly false. And you're clearly you're covering up for a major series of lies.
Yeah. Well, the only thing that you could come up with this entire time after this nice, pleasant debate, it's true. I did say I think you're too stupid to understand my point.
Yeah, that's rude. So don't
but
be
I
rude
would
to me, and I'll be fucking
never,
rude to you.
I would never have attempted to attack one of your family members.
You could do it.
I know, but I wouldn't, Chuck, because I'm a better person than you.
Oh, well, you wouldn't be able to.
But Andrew, you attacked the fathers by supporting Rachel to go to non-Christian courts to request custody that's against biblical law. It's against the Bible for her to request sole custody of the children. Where's this, as you mentioned, to coach Greg Adams, who's a satanic individual, who's a 50-year-old immoral atheist who himself wants to be the sky daddy, or the sky daddy on earth of his cult followers, so he can grift their money so that he can spend it on fornicating with young women, probably his daughter's age, if he has daughters. Would Coach Craig Adams, would he himself be happy with 50-year-old men his age fornicating, paying to fornicate with his daughters like he fornicates with other people's daughters? He mocks and blasphemes God. So I'm not in support of coach, so-called coach, self-appointed coach Greg Adams. However, he had a valid point in relation to what Andrew Wilson is claiming here to being a hero in preventing two fathers from having access and Christian rights to their children.
Because you could do it.
I know, but I wouldn't, Chuck, because I'm a better person than you.
Oh, well, you wouldn't be able to because all of my family members are better people than you.
Well, I mean, but I'm a better person than you.
When I said that my dad has spent his life helping people,
well,
you spent your life
doing what?
Proselytizing to the masses and propping yourself up as a...
He's spent his life since he's been married to Rachel Wilson, enabling her to go to non-Christian family courts, Freemasonic courts, and abduct the children, make false allegations against the fathers of the children, and gain child support that she's not entitled to, and seek custody and to exclude and to alienate the fathers of those children. And that's what you want praise for. And that's, you married Rachel Wilson. So Andrew, if you were to be in an interview now and you were to come across a woman who's done exactly what Rachel Wilson has done with the fathers of children, and another man like yourself enters that situation without confirming what actually really happened, would you commend such an individual for enabling the likes of Rachel Wilson, alienating the children, using a non-Christian family court, a Freemasonic court, a secular court, to seek child maintenance, child support, to seek sole custody? Would you enable all of that, to parentally alienate? But then you say that the fathers of these children abandoned them. Really?
As a fucking leader, essentially saying,
I am a leader. Are you saying I'm not?
A leader of what, Andrew? He is a leader. A leader of what? A leader of parental alienation. A leader of enabling a feminist, a covert feminist, which Rachel Wilson is, despite what she's written against feminism, when she went to the non-Christian courts, which are feminist, gynocentric courts. Where's that from, Chris? Why would you lead such a woman if you're a leader? Is that what a Christian man who leads does, Andrew?
You are inconsequential.
Okay, and Chuck, what does that make you?
Inconsequential.
Okay.
But I'm not ashamed of it. And
I'm not ashamed of it either.
I don't aspire to be consequential.
Chuck,
You do. You aspire.
Chuck, I didn't want any.
You have all these rules that you
go ahead.
supposedly
wait till you
follow,
gas
but
out.
at the end of the day, what you want.
But yeah, feminist witch. Feminism has rules as well. You want all these rules to be imposed on society, to demonize men, masculinity. We're not in support of you, you satanic witch, feminist witch. Your own ideological belief has rules that you seek to impose through the Freemasonic government into society to demonize patriarchal traditional religious men and traditional families. Yes.
Want to do is you want to be the leader. You want to be in charge. You do not have humility.
Oh.
So do feminists. Feminists want to be in charge. They don't have humility. They have hatred and contempt for men, traditional family, and traditional gender roles as determined and dictated by religion and God.
And what
and
does
your own church
Uh-huh.
hates people like you. They hate the orthodox.
So why don't they?
Bros.
Why is it that they won't excommunicate me if they hate me so much? Why do instead I get clergy members who send me? I mean, I've got hundreds of DMs I can show you from clergy who thank me for all the catechumens which are coming into their churches. Chuck.
I mean, I've debated with those. What are the catechumens? What did you say? I've debated with them, and they are.
You've debated
not
with the
brightest
catechumens
or the best. The men that you've convinced to convert to Orthodox Christianity.
Yeah, you've debated with
idiots.
them. Chuck, you're calling someone else an idiot?
Yes.
Okay.
And they were your idiots that bought your course, and I stopped them. And even people who were saying, like,
Chuck,
I disagree with you, but you stopped them. So your course is also.
What were their names, Chuck? Who were they?
I could describe them to you.
Describe them.
White guy wearing a hat with an orange mustache and blue eyes. The other guy was also a white guy in a hat, but with slightly darker skin and a large nose.
Well, that really narrows it down, Chuck.
I mean, I could go through my...
That really narrows it down, Chuck.
My messages with Sarah. But again, these are people that have...
So the entirety of your assault is that I'm not doing anything wrong. What you were trying...
You are doing something.
Hang on. But in my family dynamic, I'm not. But you only brought up my family dynamic, which you don't think I'm doing anything wrong in order to what? You wanted to disparage me in front of other people? Isn't that what you were trying to do? You thought that once you... Did you want to reveal to everybody the great secret that's not a secret, Chuck?
I wanted to prove to you that my worldview...
It is a secret, Andrew, because you've not mentioned any of the details of the case relating to the first baby daddy, the second baby daddy. You've not mentioned any background details, factual background details relating to what Rachel did in relation to the baby daddies and the children and the stages of what we've shown here, we've evidenced in this, and then Andrew Wilson, baby daddy number 3, he gets married to her in 2009. Right. So she gave birth in 2009. Interesting. So Rachel, right, was still married in 2009 to Brian J. So how has she had a child, SWS Wilson, to Andrew, if her divorce was only granted in 2011? So, Andrew, that would make you an adulterer then? Andrew, that would make you an adulterer, and Rachel an adulteress. Well, the facts are there, aren't they? Brian J. was still married to Rachel Wilson when she gave birth to your illegitimate child, Andrew, your illegitimate daughter, in 2009. And look, Andrew's parents filed for guardianship. During the month of June, Andrew and Tarika get married. Who's Tarika, Andrew? So you married Tarika in 2010. Wow. So Rachel now gives birth in 2009 while she's still married with Brian J. She's not divorced yet until 2011. Right. Okay. So it then mentions on June the 4th, Andrew's parents filed for guardianship of SW. Why? Why did they file for guardianship, Andrew? The legal notices were sent to Rachel, not Andrew, who dodged being served since the deputy sheriffs couldn't serve her the court papers. The case was discharged. Andrew was married at the time, and the parents could have filed on his behalf since he was married to Tarika. Andrew, you're married in 2010 to Tarika, but how are you having a child to Rachel in 2009 whilst Rachel is still married to Brian J? Where does this fall in terms of traditional Christianity? Oh, sorry, you're not a traditionalist, you're a Christian, right? Christian nationalist. Right, so a Christian nationalist commits adultery with a married woman in 2009, has an illegitimate child to Rachel Wilson, with all that background that's going on, and he's still married to another woman. What's the punishment for adultery in the Bible, Andrew? What's the punishment for adultery in the Bible that you profess to follow? Right? During the month of February 2012, Rachel gives birth to a 5th child, BW, another daughter. Doesn't mention here that Andrew has married Rachel. Doesn't mention the marriage or when they married. So we need to find out, because it can't be the case that Andrew was married to Rachel in 2009 or 2010 whilst he was married to Tarika, but he committed adultery with Rachel in 2008. I'm guessing if she gave birth in 2009 to Andrew Wilson's illegitimate daughter whilst he's married to another woman. So Rachel was an adulteress and Andrew was an adulterer. But he's a hero. Okay. So then she gives birth to the 5th child, and we still don't know if this child is illegitimate or legitimate, because he's still married to Tarika. There's no mention of when he divorced Tarika and married Rachel. During the month of December, December 2012, they got married. So Rachel Wilson gave birth to 2 illegitimate children out of wedlock to Andrew as an adulteress. Again, Rachel Wilson gave birth to 2 children in a 3-year time span before she married Andrew Wilson. The first child she gave birth to whilst being married to Brian J., the second baby daddy, and whilst Andrew Wilson was married to Tarika. And then the second child that Andrew Wilson, the second daughter that they had together, again, out of wedlock, was before their marriage in December 2012. And Brian's son was 7 years old. Andrew was 28 and Rachel was 32. Rachel is 4 years older than Andrew. On December the 5th, 2015, 3 years later, Brian's son was killed in a tragic accident. He was 10 years old by a juvenile delinquent who stole his parents' vehicle. Well done, Rachel. Great parenting. This is what Andrew's hiding.
Allows you to live the life that you are living.
So does mine.
No, the fuck it doesn't.
Tell me how Tell me why it doesn't.
Christian nationalist, the average Christian, hates divorce. They would say to your wife, stay with that abusive, horrible man.
You're wrong.
Oh, but Andrew's fine with committing adultery with Rachel, knowing that she's still married, and knowing that he's married as well in 2009. So he met Rachel in 2008 while she's still married to Brian J. Because remember, the divorce was in 2011 to Brian J. So she was still married. So she had an illegitimate child from adultery in 2009 to Andrew, whilst he's married to Tarika. And then she had another child in December 2012 before being married out of wedlock to Andrew Wilson. So these children are illegitimate. Well done, Andrew. Such a hero.
Married him. That's your husband.
You're totally wrong, and I debate the issue all the time. Constantly.
All right. Well, good luck with that.
So there's...
Where the ecclesiastical authorities here, Andrew? In this whole process, where was the ecclesiastical authorities that you studies? Ecclesiastical authorities. Where were they? In this whole process?
Even under
Or did Rachel go to the Freemasonic cause outside of traditional Christian? Why didn't she go to the church? Why didn't you recommend her to deal with this matter through the church, through the Christian authority that you claim that is available right now?
Catholicism, and by the way, Christian nationalism advocates for this as well. If there's abuse in the home or abandonment or things like this, of course that's grounds for divorce. There again.
What about adultery? What about adultery? Forget abuse, Andrew. What about you and Rachel being adulterers? She's an adulteress who had 2 illegitimate children to you. And you're an adulterer who basically committed adultery with a married woman in 2008 and had a child in 2009 to her. And then another one in 2012 before you married her.
Things like not getting rid of show cause, right? Like you have to show a cause for a divorce. You have to create justification. They're against things like no fault. That's the things they're against. Nobody's like, oh, there are some people, I agree. There are some people who have been like, well, even if you're getting beaten up in a relationship, you should stay. But you know what happens when you actually hone down on what they're saying? They're actually saying, wait a second. What I'm saying is that that's something which can be worked through. That's not a thing which instantly nullifies the marriage. And then as Christians, you should try to work through that first before you end the marriage, especially if you have kids. That makes a lot of fucking sense to me.
Did your wife have...
Did you let Rachel Wilson work out her marriage to Brian J before you committed adultery with her and had an illegitimate child before she was divorced? Just asking, Andrew. You know, after all, you like all that logic, don't you? Logic and reason, right? Yeah.
Had a no-fault divorce. Was it no fault?
I'm not going to get into my personal life with you, Chuck.
All right, but if you're saying that Christian nationalists are...
avoiding, you can't get into the personal life because you're an adulterer. And Andrew, that's more than likely why you drink and smoke, because of the guilt you're carrying for your adulterous, abominable lifestyle. That's probably God has cursed you to be a drunkard and a fool who smokes. Cigarette smoke is anti-Christian. It's the smoke of Satan. It's the vapor, the odor of Satan. It summons demonic energy. Yes, Andrew, so does alcohol. That's why they call it spirits. You're a walking contradiction.
They're pro show cause, but against at fault divorce, then it's the same thing.
Chuck. Well, what happened is her ex-husband went in the room and beat her half to death and ripped.
Horrible,
Shut up,
man.
Chuck.
That's horrible.
Shut up, Chuck. But you want me to relive it and you want me to tell you about it, so I will.
I'm asking.
So he's citing her ex-husband went in the room, beat her up. Where's the police record, Andrew? Where is the police record? And why did he do that? Why?
No, shut up, Chuck. It's my turn to tell you.
All right.
And ripped out half of her tongue. Ripped it out of her fucking head. And so the thing is funny, Chuck. I just want to point this out. Thanks, by the way, for reminding me of that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, Andrew. Interesting. Let's see the police record where that really actually happened. Let's see the full facts, Andrew.
Can you just help me out with this? Which Christian nationalist would say?
Because from what we've seen, Rachel has a full tongue in her head.
Say that divorce under those circumstances was not appropriate.
Who's the dude that was berating his pregnant
You
wife?
tell me. Is it Steven Crowder?
Yeah.
So does that mean then he's not allowed Brian J? If you're saying this it was her husband, Brian J, who ripped her tongue out, does that mean he's not allowed around his own child? Andrew? Is that what it means?
You think Steven Crowder, who's one of Rachel's best friends, would tell her that was
her best friend?
I didn't say it was her best friend.
That's one of her best friends?
Yes. And one of mine.
Jesus Christ. I mean, that's what I mean, man, is you espouse...
No, man. What I mean, man, is you just said that Steven Crowder...
It is pro-woman
Steven
abuser.
Crowder...
It is pro-woman
You're saying that
abuser.
Steven Crowder...
You were telling your wife's, like, you are talking about her horrific trauma, and then you're saying, like, that like, freaking Steven Crowder...
Steven Crowder didn't lay a finger on his wife.
You are hanging out with abusers of women that want to trap women.
Steven Crowder never laid a finger on his wife, you lying bitch.
As far as we fucking know.
No, as far as she claimed publicly, you fucking idiot. You don't even know anything about the case. You stupid broad. Can you tell me that Hillary Crowder has said that Steven Crowder ever touched her? Ever? Because then why are you making these allegations?
Still an abuser of women.
How?
It was
because he got into an
the way that he spoke to
Chuck,
her. You support that.
Chuck, you've been in worse arguments and relationships than that. I guarantee it.
I haven't.
Oh my God, you people are the worst liars. You're the worst liars, the most uncharitable fucking people.
To be honest, Andrew, yes, feminists are liars, but you here is the Christian man who believes in Jesus Christ, who believes in the Bible. You have sat here and repeatedly lied. That you claim that the fathers of Rachel Wilson's illegitimate children abandoned, except for Brian J. He was married to Rachel, right? They abandoned their children, and you came in as a hero to take care of other men's children who abandoned them. Didn't mention anything about the case. Didn't mention about Rachel going to the non-Christian courts, the Freemasonic courts, to get restraining orders and child support and and parentally alienate and seek custody against the Bible. You didn't mention any of this background and context. That's lying, or you're definitely omitting. You definitely lied, claiming that the fathers abandoned their children. That's a clear-cut lie. You're definitely lying that Rachel was your wife. When you had your first and second illegitimate children to her, you were not married. You were married to Tarika. Rachel was still married to Brian J. in 2008 when you impregnated Rachel through adultery. She was still married in 2011 and gave birth to a second child of yours, Andrew, in 2012, before you married her in February 2012, and you only married her in December, so that's 2 illegitimate children from adultery. It's infinitely worse. She doesn't claim to be a person of religion and faith and belief in God. You do, Andrew. It's infinitely worse than the satanic ideology she's upon. People.
The worst lying sex. You just made an accusation that Steven Crowder abused his wife. Total lies. Said that he beat her up. Total fucking lies. Said that he would hate Rachel Wilson, who's one of his best friends. Right? You're a fucking idiot. You don't know what you're talking about.
Bullshit this whole night, and you
literally don't know what you're talking about.
Words, you literally,
Chuck, just stop. You're an embarrassment, Chuck.
And evidence, you would be like, no, it's not. I watched your debates.
Well, Chuck, I'm surprised you didn't learn from any of them. Because, good Lord, it was a terrible showing for you the whole night, and you really ended it with a flourish, let me tell you.
I didn't come here to win.
Yeah, well, I'm glad, because that wasn't going to happen.
Not with your fucking audience. This audience, it's all fucking incels.
It's all incels, yeah.
Yes.
Well, your audience is all a bunch of ditch-licking whores. What do you want me to say?
I like them better than you.
Yeah, you should.
I do.
Enjoy them, Chuck.
Got you real red in the face.
My hands were on my face just now, Chuck.
And before?
Because my hands were on my face, Chuck.
You're mad.
It's performative, Chuck. I don't know. You looked pretty angry just a second ago, Chuck. You were pretty upset.
This is what my face looks like normally.
Yeah, so anyway.
I told you this even before the debate began. Did I have heavy...
That was very... I guess that justifies...
Racist, misogynistic, homophobic, and transphobic.
I guess that justifies...
Thank you for spreading hate. Thank you for contributing to ruining a generation of young men.
Yeah, so I guess that just...
No. This here, I have to support the truth. Thank you for ruining generations of women, generations of girls, since feminism was pushed into the government from the late 1800s, 1900s, over 100 years of feminist tyranny that's destroyed generations of girls, females, and women to this day, and it's only got worse. You want to claim misogyny? Misandry. You've infiltrated, like a Trojan horse, all the branches of government throughout the West. School system, the legal system, any infrastructure that can oppress men you've infiltrated through feminist ideology, misandrist ideology. But you want to pretend that's not the case. You want to pretend that it's a gender-neutral society, or that you're still living under patriarchy, and want to deny the provable, factual case that Western societies are gynocentric, misandrist societies, feminist societies, Freemasonic societies, that hate patriarchy, that hates traditional religion, that hates masculinity, that's founded in traditional religion, hates everything to do with anything to do with God. That's the society that you champion and support, that's destroyed women in traditional gender roles deliberately by design. Anyone who reads the quotes of feminists, originating witches, feminist witches, will see the hatred for God, the hatred for the prophets of God, the hatred for traditional marital roles in marriage, the hatred for marriage, on and on and on. Everything that's in traditional religious books, they are at war with. Feminism, satanic feminist ideology is at war with anything that's in traditional religious books. That's a summation of all their beliefs. They're the opposite of what traditional religions advocate for. And this has been one of the most destructive societal impacts, a nuclear bomb that's gone off in society inside of girls, women's and females' minds and hearts. That's what you've contributed to, you satanic witch.
Justifies any evil thing you want to do, huh, Chuck?
Radicalizing them
Chuck,
out of approaching.
These are the same exact reasons that they shot Charlie Kirk, Chuck. Same reason that your trans friend shot Charlie Kirk is because you think it's
transgender Charlie Kirk.
Give me it's who's Chuck. I just want to point this out because you think I
go in and violently
Chuck
with love and
Chuck. Yeah, I'm sorry. Smokey Man.
Same thing.
Yeah, Smokey Man bad. Even though I do nothing in your worldview. Me, of course, for doing that. You say it's a good thing that I do that, but you bring it up anyway because you want to attack me.
Neutral. I mean, do you make those children feel like they are like a charity case that you've just done such great things for?
So I'm sorry. So I shouldn't do it because if I do, what?
No, but you should be normal about it.
What does that mean? You brought it up.
So don't treat it like it's like, oh, I'm such a good man for doing this thing and taking in this broken, abused women. Like it's like I don't like the way you're talking about it, dude.
Oh, how should I talk about it, Chuck?
Like a normal.
Yeah, she's right. She's right. If you're doing it for Christ and Jesus, you don't do it to show off on vanity and boast as you have been doing. Oh, I'm taking care of an adulterous woman that had 2 illegitimate children, that committed adultery while she was married and had an illegitimate child too. Oh yeah, I'm a wonderful guy. Why can't I mention that I'm a good man? I'm taking care of, children from 2 children from fornication, 1 child that's legitimate, despite all that Rachel's done to prevent those fathers having children. And let's see here. So Rachel, if she married the first Chad, the first guy, she would have been a double adulteress. But she was a fornicator. And then she cheated. She cheated on Chad H with Brian J. Yeah, she cheated on Chad H, the boyfriend, with Brian, who she married, Brian J. Then she committed adultery with Andrew before she divorced her first husband, Brian J. She had 2 illegitimate child, in fact 2 illegitimate child, 1 while she was still married. She had 1 illegitimate child while she's still married to Brian J. She had Andrew's illegitimate child. She had a second illegitimate child before she married Andrew in 2012, December. Great stuff, Andrew. Stand-up Christian man. Yeah. Just a paragon of virtue and Christ-like behavior.
Normal person.
What does that mean, Chuck?
It should just be a fact. It should just be neutral.
Okay, it is a fact, and you brought it up because you wanted to use it as something disparaging, but you can't figure out how it's disparaging.
It's disparaging because it goes against the worldview that you espouse.
What part of me marrying a woman who was divorced goes against my worldview?
No, Andrew, she wasn't divorced. She was not divorced when you committed adultery with her. You were married to Tarika, remember? As the evidence here clearly shows. You were still married to Tarika in 2009, 2010, 2000. You were still married. right? Rachel was still married to baby daddy number two, yes, until 2011, right? Right? As we've already seen, she only got divorced in 2011. Case was closed. And so she had an illegitimate child to Andrew, who was married to Tarika. Oh, sorry, Andrew and Tarika get married in 2010. So, but Rachel was still married, so she committed adultery with Andrew in 2008, while still being married to Brian J. So she gave birth in 2009, and Andrew got married to a black woman in 2010. Then, Andrew, being married in 2010, he then has a second child to Rachel, whilst apparently he's still married to Tarika, right? This has to be found out. So was he married to Tarika when he committed adultery again with Rachel and had a second child, illegitimate child? And then he marries Rachel in 2012. Is this from Christianity, Andrew?
Say gnarly things about promiscuous women and that they're disgusting.
That's not promiscuity.
You say 3 baby daddies? Yes, that's promiscuous.
Wait a second. Help me out here. How many times have you had?
No. It's worse. You and Rachel are adulterers. She's an adulteress and you're an adulterer. And your children, Andrew, are illegitimate children. They're illegitimate children. You were not married to Rachel. You were married to Tarika. And Rachel was still married to Brian J. You're an adulterer. So yes, you're immoral. She's an adulteress and you're an adulterer.
Had sex?
I couldn't count.
How many different partners have you had?
Oh, it depends on what you would consider sex.
Men.
Her having partners, yeah, is not as bad as adultery, Andrew. You're an adulterer. You've had 2 illegitimate children. She's not a Christian. You are.
Men?
Yeah. How many men have you fucked, Chuck?
Certainly under 10.
Yeah, and she has 3 long-term relationships, and I'm one of them. Okay, Chuck. Can you tell me which one of you are promiscuous?
Through having had children with them, forever tied to her. That's a much stronger bond than a hookup.
Okay, but help me out. You fuck way more women than my wife, and she's the promiscuous one?
You wouldn't consider what I do.
Andrew, your wife's an adulteress. And you two, according to the Bible, adulterers and adulteresses should be stoned to death or put to death, right? The punishment for adultery in Leviticus is death. So Andrew, when are you going to hand yourself over to the Christian leadership for you and Rachel to be dealt with according to Christian law? Yeah.
Do sex, would you?
You fuck men. You said you fucked 10 men, Chuck.
I said under 10. You would not consider the sex that I've had with women to be sex. Is that what you said?
No, I'm talking about men.
Then why'd you bring up women?
I didn't try to. I was talking about men.
Okay.
So yeah, Chuck, you fucked way more.
None of them got me pregnant.
Who cares if they did? He would just abort the kid.
I mean, yeah, but
because you're just a sick fuck.
No, Andrew, you're a sick F. You're an adulterer. She's not an adulteress. You're an adulterer. You're a sick F yourself. You had 2 illegitimate children from adultery to Rachel while she was still married, and you're still married. You're a sick F.
I'm not a sick fuck.
You're a sick fuck.
I think it's crueler. I think it is crueler to have children when you are unprepared and bring them into an unsafe household. I think that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll make.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point by her. And there's no safety in what Andrew did with Rachel. 2 illegitimate children out of wedlock. Chaos.
Make sure to let my stepkids know that they shouldn't have been brought in the world because Chuck wishes that her mom killed them. Because then she couldn't say he had 3 baby daddies, could she?
Go ahead and tell them.
I'll go ahead and tell them, Chuck.
Tell them.
I'll let them know, Chuck.
But it's every time you talk about how older women are undesirable, women with past are undesirable.
That's not what I say.
And then you are dating a woman. You are married to a woman. You are in love
can
with
you
a woman.
can you tell me what my position is?
I've seen your tweets.
What's my position?
I've seen the way that you speak to sex workers.
Can you tell me what my was my wife a sex worker?
No.
No, your wife was an adulteress, and you were an adulterer. And is even the marriage valid? Is the marriage valid in Christianity if you've committed adultery with that woman and she's committed adultery with you? Is that such? You shouldn't even be alive to be married to her, and neither should she be alive to be married to you according to biblical law. Isn't it, Andrew?
No.
She has 3 baby daddies.
Okay, so not a sex worker? Not a sex worker?
She's worse than a sex. She's an adulteress, and you're an adulterer.
No, not a sex worker.
Okay, great, Chuck.
But the way you talk to promiscuous women.
So she had 3 long-term relationships and did what she was supposed to do in them when she's married, which is have children.
An adulteress is definitely worse than a promiscuous woman. A promiscuous woman is bad according to the Bible, but an adulteress, the death penalty, Andrew, death penalty by God, as commanded by God, Jesus, according to you.
Yeah, and how did that turn out for her?
It turned out great. She ended up with me.
She got half her tongue ripped out. That's what
but she's been.
Oh, it turned out great. Turned out great, Andrew.
With me for almost fucking 18 years. What's your longest term relationship, Chuck?
3 years, but I'm in my 20s.
3 years. 3 years and 10 guys. Well, you got a way to go, Chuck.
I said under 10, but I'm also in my 20s, and you're in your.
I sincerely hope the children find out the truth about you, Andrew. Those 3 children, one of them legitimate according to Christian ethics, 2 of them illegitimate, find out the truth about how you committed adultery with their mother and you wrecked a home. Did you tell Rachel to work out her issues with Brian J. according to Christian ethics before committing adultery with her? While she's married? Whilst you're married? Yeah.
I married her when I was in my 20s. With her. What do you mean?
She was in her 30s when you married her then.
Was she? I don't.
She's 5 years older.
No, she's not 5 years. She's 3 years older, you idiot.
Oh, my bad. My information was wrong then.
Yeah, because you got it from a dumb whore, didn't you?
Which dumb whore?
Tree of Logic. You got it from a stupid whore, and that's why your information's bad. What else?
Is Tree
of Logic, is that the source? Yeah. No, it's not. Continuing.
Logic the name of someone?
Yeah, what else do you think? What else do you think, Chuck? Do I have an illegitimate black child too?
No.
That wasn't part of your information?
No.
Oh, what else was part of your information? How much older is my wife than me?
5 years.
Oh, okay. Well, how old is she then?
She's 43 if you said it was 3 years.
Wait, how old am I, Chuck?
40.
I'm 41.
Okay. Well, she still has 3 baby daddies, which you confirmed.
So you're wrong about that, right? You're wrong about that?
Does she not have 3 baby daddies?
Yeah, no, she didn't have 3 baby daddies. Men you're married to aren't baby daddies.
A baby daddy is a man.
Men you're married to aren't baby daddies. So you saying that Rachel was married to the first guy, Chad H? It's clear she wasn't. So if she was married, then, which she wasn't, you committed adultery. She committed twice adultery, so she committed adultery with Brian, and then she committed adultery with you. So she's a double adulteress. If we accept what you're saying, that she's twice married before you, she's a double adulteress. She's worse than a promiscuous woman.
man that
No, your disparagement there, as fun as it is, right? Remember, she's not here to defend herself either, because she'd knock you the fuck out probably. But
she would hit me.
Yeah, if you had personally attacked her, I'm sure she would.
Well, I wouldn't have personally attacked her. So I might have gently suggested that.
Gently
telling
suggested
women to submit to their husbands and blah blah.
So Andrew, so your wife's more masculine than you. She's got more honor than you. So when someone attacks your family, well, is it even really your family? When someone attacks Rachel, what have you done to defend her? How come you haven't hit anyone? How come you didn't stand up and punch CGA, Coach Craig Adams, when he mentioned these issues in relation to Rachel? Why didn't you punch him up, Andrew? So she's more masculine than you. Fantastic.
Blah 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 is kind of
that created great outcomes for her, Chuck.
Is this a great outcome?
It sure seems to be for her.
Because I mean, being with you, and I think dedicating your life to being a content creator that just like debates, and that's the extent of your Christian goodness, I wouldn't consider that the high living.
Wait, is that Chuck? Is that the extent of my Christian goodness?
Probably.
Tell me what I do.
This is what you do.
Tell me what I do with all that money I make, Chuck.
I don't see people supporting Andrew in the comments. They don't know the facts. Andrew's the degenerate, underhand, adulterous piece of crap along with Rachel.
Oh.
But I thought you just told me what the extent of my Christian goodness was.
The impact that you leave on the world, whether you donate to charities or not,
justifies,
which I strongly doubt that you do.
You strongly doubt that?
What you do with your worldview is you use it to feed your ego. What you do with your career.
My ego?
Yes, your ego.
My ego?
Your ego.
So tell me, Chuck, can you help me out here?
And I know that this is the thing about pride too, because the first time we debated, you said to me, you just humiliated yourself in front of all of these people. And when I said, I've been on bigger platforms, you said, no, you haven't.
What bigger platform were you on?
Yeah, she's right about pride. It is a sin in the Bible, Andrew. And you exude gargantuan proportions of pride.
Well, I was interviewed by CNN once.
No. So you weren't on a big platform, Chuck. So I was right?
Shush.
So I was right, Chuck? I was right.
CubeBot in 2024
yeah,
had a viewer average of about 10,000. And I went on her show with Morgue Pie, and I was subject to a lot more people and greater, scarier things.
Oh.
So I guess now technically Brian's platform is the largest platform I've been on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. But before that, it was mine.
Despite her being a feminist witch, she's quite composed and feminine in her demeanor, despite being a feminist. She's not being aggressive, raised her voice. She said underhanded things, but she's never really been ultra aggressive or overly condescending consistently like Andrew has. She hasn't been as petulant as Andrew has been, which shows that there's definitely some deficiencies in Andrew when it comes to debating, which he definitely needs to work on. But on the whole, in reality, a lot of traditional men would see this as a good quality that this feminist has, that she's not overly combative and aggressive. She's quite calm and measured in her demeanor, in her presentation. She's being quite, how do you say, honorable, quite feminine and well dignified in her behavior overall.
No, it was CubeBot.
Oh, it was CubeBot.
Yeah.
And how many people were watching CubeBot at that time? If we go pull that stream, we'll find the numbers.
When we were debating, I'm not referring to her numbers at that time. I was referring to her viewer average in 2024 when I went on her dating show with Morgue Pie. There were over 10K viewers concurrent.
Okay. Gotcha.
That is what I'm referring to.
So Rachel pipes in, debate me, you imbecile. You heard a bunch of lies about me and repeated them after getting humiliated by my husband. So much for the sisterhood. Well, there shouldn't be a sisterhood with feminists, right, Rachel? If you're a Christian woman, there's no sisterhood with feminists. And they're not lies, obviously.
Okay.
And that is far more immortalized than this will be.
So help me out with this, though. I just want to make sure that I get all of this right. So ultimately, you think that it's okay to try to use these disparaging things against my wife who's not here to defend herself. Why? What did she do to you, Chuck?
I'm trying to convince you of my worldview.
Yeah, but what did she do to you, Chuck?
I mean, I think that being married to you is,
It's enough to do whatever evil you want to her, isn't it, Chuck?
Was what I said evil or wrong? Was it inaccurate what I said? Was it inaccurate what I said? Was it inaccurate?
Remember how earlier?
Was it a lie?
Yeah, but were you trying to use it as disparaging like you do with colonizer?
Hypocrisy.
Where's the hypocrisy?
Because of the worldviews that you espouse.
Tell me what I espouse, which is hypocritical. You spend your
time convincing men that older women are undesirable, that women with past are undesirable.
You're lying.
I have scrolled through your freaking tweets.
Chuck,
I've seen this. I've seen what you said.
You
have built your
Give me the position, Chuck. Give me the position I have. The position you think I have, which is hypocritical.
Older women are undesirable. An 18-year-old will always be more desirable than a fucking...
Total fucking lies, Chuck. So here's my actual position.
That was actually one of the first...
I guarantee you'll never find the tweet. And when we're done here, I'll send you $1,000 per tweet that I'm wrong about. Promise. Okay. So here we go. You ready? My actual position. As women get older, they're generally less desirable than when they were younger.
Uh-huh.
Anything else, Chuck? Am I wrong?
But do you think...
Hang on. Chuck, am I wrong? Chuck, am I wrong, though, Chuck?
Depends on who you ask.
I'm asking you.
I like older women.
I'm asking you, Chuck.
Andrew, your wife was older when you met her. Was she generally less desirable? So why did you marry her then? Why didn't you marry a younger woman? I believe she was 28 when you married her. 28 years old, right? Was 28 and Rachel was 32. Yeah. Okay, Andrew. Why didn't you marry a younger woman according to your view here that you've mentioned here? Rachel was in her 30s.
General.
And my mom and all of her heterosexual
Yeah, Chuck, I know, but in general, but Chuck, in general, is it not the case that in general, as women get older, they become less desirable to men than younger women? In general.
They become less desirable, but yeah, that's all you could get, Andrew. An older, 32-year-old, adulterous female, immoral, covert feminist, child abductor, parental alienator, someone who uses the non-Christian cause, right? Her child actually died in her care, and that you committed adultery with her knowing that she was still married to Brian J, whilst you were still married as well. Amazing. You had 2 illegitimate children. Make it make sense, Andrew. Make it make sense.
Not now, I don't think so. I think there's an age cap.
So if I were to show you stats of when men respond and say that they would prefer younger women over older women, they're lying?
Maybe.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't know. You can never trust statistics or where they're from. You can never trust
never said that either. Never said that either. I say that every study needs to be vetted. But okay. So anyway, what's the next position that I espouse, which I probably don't? That makes me a hypocrite.
So I want to say that as
you're a hypocrite right there, Andrew. You say men prefer younger women, but you married a 32-year-old adulteress with 2 illegitimate children to Chad H and 1 child to her husband, Brian J. And you committed adultery while she had those 3 children. You had 2 illegitimate children out of wedlock to Rachel. 1 while she was married, and the second one whilst you were married. Yeah, that makes you a hypocrite and an adulterer, an adulterous hypocrite. And Rachel Wilson, an adulterous hypocrite.
Outsider looking in, what your platform looks like is it's teaching young...
Yeah, I don't care about that. How am I a hypocrite? Women. What am I saying that's hypocritical?
You're a hypocrite because you are married to a woman that the men that you are influencing to feel these things, you are married to someone that they would find completely unacceptable.
I don't think you know my audience.
I know their audience.
I don't have a red pill audience.
You do, dude.
I don't. I'm not a red pillar.
Down all of my
I'm literally not a red pillar.
This because every time after I debate you, what I have is a bunch of dudes hopping in my comments calling me a stupid whore, a bitch, and a slut.
What does that have to do with me?
That's your audience.
No, my audience are Christian nationalists. That's my audience.
Yeah, and they're assholes.
Maybe, but
They're
that
bad
doesn't
people.
make me a
They're
hypocrite.
not Christians.
What things do I advocate for that are hypocritical to how I live my personal life? What? Chuck?
You're dating a promiscuous woman.
How is that
You are
promiscuous?
dating a woman who has 3 baby daddies.
I'm not dating anybody. I'm married. And how is it promiscuous? She had 3 long-term relationships and was married.
Children with 3 different men.
How is that promiscuous? So
it's not a problem to
So
you,
if her
but
husband died in war and she got remarried, me as a Christian, that's promiscuous?
It's different.
How? How's that different than he leaves her?
It's death.
How's that different than he leaves her?
The great sanctity of a Christian marriage.
But Chuck, I've never advocated that, ever. So how could I be a hypocrite?
Dude, and everything you say and do, you fucking advocate for this shit.
I'm going to start pulling out, I'll tell you what. I'll start pulling out cash.
I don't want you
to pull up the tweet. Pull up the tweet that shows me a hypocrite to my worldview. I'll keep pulling out cash until you can.
Keep pulling it out.
Okay, how much do you want?
I'm not playing your game.
You're not going, because you don't have shit.
No, because I'm not going to sit here and dig through your fucking tweets.
Because there's nothing there that would make me a hypocrite to my view. Do you think?
Dude, your platform is literally 2 normal people. Reads as insane, dude.
That has nothing to do with the claim I'm a hypocrite, Chuck. Chuck,
yes, dude.
Show me how I'm a hypocrite, Chuck, for my view.
You spend your time shitting on women.
I don't.
That is all you do.
Hardly.
You discourage.
Yeah, and he shits on the father of Rachel's children as well. He shitted on those fathers, and he just blindly believed whatever she said. He accepted her going against Christian values and ethics when it came to child custody, and parental rights. He accepted that from her. He committed adultery with her while she's married. He had 2 children from their adulterous affair before he even married her. So yes, again, you're a hypocrite and an adulterer who, according to the Bible, should be executed along with your wife, according to the Bible.
Even if all I did was shit on women, how am I a hypocrite?
Because you are married to a woman with 3 baby daddies.
And do I ever make a prescription that that's immoral or wrong?
I think you made up rules for yourself that it's okay to fit your worldview.
Bro.
That's fair. That's a fair point.
When have I ever advocated that you can't be a stepdad?
So proud. I think you would be so proud of your chaste Christian wife.
Are you ever going to show me how I espouse views, which I don't believe, ever? What do I actually say?
Watched the shit that you make. You can just watch your clips and see the things that you say.
Chuck, tell me my position.
Of like these sexless.
We're just going to do it via the phone. Do you want to say anything?
Okay, the adulteress is called in now. Rachel Wilson, the adulteress is called in.
Yeah, am I coming through okay?
Yes.
Okay, good. Well, I guess I'm just going to ask her the same question kind of that Andrew asked her, which is, I mean, she said all this stuff about me that she got completely wrong, but what is it that you think Andrew...
Oh, she got completely wrong. So Rachel's claiming completely wrong. Well, not according... She's wrong on some things, but according to the evidence here, Rachel, you're an adulteress. Whore, really, by definition. And a woman who commits adultery is a whore.
You or I are doing that is wrong or hypocritical.
And you only have 1 child that's legitimate for marriage, and you have four daughters, from 2 from fornication and 2 from adultery.
I do feel that with your guys' platforms, what you do is, Rachel, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not familiar with your platform. I'm only familiar with your husband's.
You're only familiar with talking shit about her when she's not here.
Well, hey, man, I was trying to prove my point.
Yeah, good job.
Okay, how does what you said about me prove your point? Like, again, did somebody tell you that Andrew like hates on single moms and like shits on them, and so you thought that because he's married to me and I had kids before I married him that like he's a bad Christian? Like, I don't understand where you're coming from with this. What did he do wrong, and what did I do wrong?
Really, Rachel? What did he do wrong, and what did you do wrong? Adultery. Let's look up the punishment in the Bible for adultery. Yeah, let's look it up. The punishment for adultery in the Bible is death by stoning for both the man and woman, as specified by Leviticus and Deuteronomy. However, the New Testament, Jesus' encounter with irrelevant. It's a death penalty for both men and women caught in adultery. They were to be put to death. The legal basis these laws are found in Leviticus and Deuteronomy. If a man commits adultery with another man's wife, both the adulterer and the adulteress shall be put to death. Right. That's a pretty big reason, Rachel, as to what you and Andrew did wrong.
So the basis of Andrew's platform is essentially to make women look stupid and humiliate them.
So Rachel Wilson, she wrote a book, seemingly an excellent book, against feminism, the origins of feminism, which I've mentioned other authors, doctors, PhDs who've concurred. Her findings, the occult influence on feminist ideology. However, Rachel Wilson herself used the feminist system to deny her two, according to Andrew, her two ex-husbands access and custody, shared custody to their children. She used an anti-Christian system, a feminist system, but now she's writing against feminism. Interesting. So, have you always been against feminism? Or is it just now financially lucrative to write against feminism? Rachel, you're an adulteress. According to the Bible, you and Andrew should not even be alive. According to the Old Testament laws from Leviticus and Deuteronomy, you are to be both stoned to death. Not writing books about feminism. Not asking anyone, what did we do wrong? Not Andrew saying, I'm a hero. I'm a stepfather. I took on other men's children who abandoned them. That's not what you should be doing.
You're doing a perfectly good job of that all by yourself. He doesn't even need the help. But go on.
All right,
Erroneous.
Sorry.
Okay. I lost my train of thought.
Tell the whole world why we're bad.
The whole world?
Bad and why am I bad?
You were saying that Andrew's whole purpose is to make women look dumb and stupid.
But that's how his thing works, is he goes on debate shows. A lot of the time it's young women, people with no formal debate experience, such as myself, to mock them, make them look stupid, clip farm, and then gain money and notoriety this way. He doesn't engage.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
In real thoughtful debate. I've seen people walk off from debating him because
we got to do one thing at a time. One thing at a time. You can't just shotgun 500 things. So,
okay.
Did you not have agency? Did you not have agency when you accepted this debate with Andrew?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Then what did he do wrong? Do you want him to treat you because you're a feminist, so do you want him to...
That's also a fair point by Rachel. She had agency to come on the show. She could have refused to come on the show. It's a fair point.
Only debate men? Because if he did that, you'd say, well, he's a misogynist. He won't even debate women because he doesn't take them seriously enough or whatever. Like, you guys make yourself look stupid. Andrew can't make you look stupid if you're not. And I would go on here and I would make you look 10 times stupider because you're really, really uninformed, but really, really confident about everything you say. You do not sound like a person with a college education. My homeschooled 13-year-old can explain per capita, okay? You are not a very smart person.
Are you going to explain, since you're a smart person, Rachel, why you committed adultery with Andrew? And why you committed adultery with your with your first husband, Brian J., according to the evidence, you committed adultery with Andrew against your first husband, and Andrew was still married, and you had 2 illegitimate children. Are you going to explain that to your children? Yeah? Is that what from the benefit of your education and homeschooling your illegitimate children?
You're the one who put yourself in this position. And since you lost and you got humiliated, you thought the thing to do would be attack me. And okay, so let's go there. Where did you get the idea that I'm promiscuous?
No, you're an adulteress who should be stoned to death according to the Bible, Rachel.
Well, that you're promiscuous? Sorry, you just also said a bunch of shit that I was trying to keep track of.
You said that I'm promiscuous. So what promiscuous means I've slept with a lot of people, right?
I would say...
Right, so I could get numerous other video clips, screenshots, evidences to conclusively prove these findings against Rachel and Andrew Wilson. Rachel's timeline here. It's gone through quite thoroughly in this.
Baby daughters that was, it looked like about a year and a half apart. So she gave birth to IH in 2001 and to JH in 2003. That was the second daughter. All right. So let's go to the receipts. Here is her blog that is on her Patreon. We also have it indexed. We also have it archived. We also have it bookmarked. So I want to show you how I was able to capture my boyfriend for 3 years. That's how I was able to determine how long they were together. So I'm just basically doing math here. And then finally in this paragraph, it reads, the boyfriend I had my first 2 daughters with left me. And then that's when we came to this conclusion right here. And then and 2 years after JJ, I was separated away. $1 from married in 2000. 6 days later. I mean, she's evil beyond evil. After she gets the temporary protection order falsely filed against Brian, granted on the 3rd, 6 days later, she files for sole custody on the 9th. But Brian was like, nah, girl, you ain't gonna do me like that. The only name that I left out was the name of his biological mother and biological father. By the way, he's raising. Here we have where Rachel was filing for child support against Brian. If you guys want to fact check me, you can do so. These are public records. I am not, as I stated earlier in this timeline right here, because they go through a lot of court battles of cuts to fight against it and get a 2011. And as you can see, this is where this is where he was filing for a temporary protection order on behalf of his son. You can see Brian filing against Rachel. They were married. I don't know when they got divorced. Some people are saying they got the marriage annulled. I'm not sure. Now we go to another court filings where the parents of Andrew filed for guardianship over the first daughter. Remember that all these 2 girls, she wasn't even married to Andrew, and they have the nerve to pretend to be traditional. Do you see why we were going after them so hard? They were basically clowning women, telling women that they're 304s, but look at what she's the queen 304. So here she says, Paleo baby was back of her tweeting when she got married. Like I said, I don't know if they got married on the 26th or the 27th, but they definitely...
Rachel for patriarchy. Rachel for patriarchy, yeah. Adulterous whore. Yeah, an adulterous whore in for patriarchy, yeah. I'm married to my best friend. Oh yeah, that's all feminist rhetoric right there. I married my best friend. That's all feminist rhetoric. We had a beautiful wedding, and it was like a fairy tale with falling snow. Oh, I thought you were against all that Disney brainwashing, but you had 2 illegitimate daughters from adultery. Rachel. So what you shouldn't even be alive to have that wedding according to the Bible in the Old Testament.
Got married right after, like I guess you could say they got married because guess what? On May the 29th, two of us happened, okay? Like an unfit Drew tried to lie to the boy when he was 3. I need to remind you guys, okay? I need to remind you, he did not know the little boy at the age of 3. Andrew's life, he didn't even know him. They didn't even know each other. As if this proves anything. Let me tell you something. As you can see through the timeline, Rachel and neighbors in Ravenna played together quite a bit.
Right, so anyone can watch that online. Just 411. Rachel and Andrew Wilson never saw this coming. It's quite a thorough investigation there. Quite a strong, very strong hit piece that I haven't seen Rachel or Andrew Wilson challenge. Not even in the comments. Not even in the comments have they challenged. Nothing. Yeah, she could have deleted maybe. Who knows? But yeah. Andrew and Rachel, they need to come up with some serious, immediate answers. Real answers. This has been quite a decisive exposition. And like I say again, that which Andrew and Rachel Wilson say that's in conformity to traditional religious standards and values, any person who believes in orthodox traditional religion supports them. In that regard, we support the truth. We don't reject the truth. But they are hypocrites. They are grifters. They are adulterers. Rachel's had multiple illegitimate children. She committed adultery with Andrew on her first husband, the second baby daddy, and Andrew committed adultery on his wife. So yeah, this is not a good look, and we've seen that the Bible mentions stoning to death for the adulterer and the adulteress. So Rachel and Andrew Wilson have to answer to this, these adulterers, and that they've suppressed this history. They are hypocrites, they are liars, they are fraudsters, and it's a serious set of findings against them, and it's from Rachel Wilson's own account online. So yeah, this is just maybe part 1 of this investigation into Andrew and Rachel Wilson. Like I say, we support the truth of that which they promote, but we don't trust the motives as to why they promote patriarchy and traditionalism and religion and Christianity and traditional values and ethics. It's very, very dubious, because in their whole behavior in terms of divine law, when it came to adultery, they didn't care what God says. They didn't follow Christianity when it came to committing adultery and having illegitimate children out of wedlock. So this is, and which the punishment should be, according to the Bible, death penalty. So where's the authority, the church authority, that's going to implement the punishment for adultery on Andrew Wilson and Rachel Wilson? Yeah, the Andrew keeps saying that's, they're ready for marriage, but where's the accountability for adultery?